just looked at the other video that I had, and part of the reason is because of the way my hands move. It feels as if, or it looks as if I'm in a fight. It looks as if I'm actually straight up in a fight. Yeah, it's okay to shake my hands every once in a while, but don't talk as if I'm in a fight. Like, it's so important not to talk as if I'm in a fight. And just remember, this shit will get better and better, and it will become much, much easier. So just remember that this will come, and it will come easily as I put more effort in it. So now it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but very soon after it's not going to be as difficult at all. But just remember, look to the side and then reconnect, and then points that I need to cover, actually multiple points that I need to cover. So I'm going to be talking like this for a little bit and then reconnecting as if the person is right here. So points that are very, very important for me to actually cover is that I need to move my head as I'm talking, I need to move my eyes as I'm talking, and also reconnect less. So talk, let's say, like this much, like at least for 10 seconds, then have my head reconnect to the other person and talk. But rather, other than that, look in front of me, whatever it is the case, look in front of me. If like somebody comes my way and stands right next to me, that person has to actually stand without me orienting my body towards them. It's so important that I don't orient my body towards the other person. Why? Because the other person that way would get a lot more importance. And you know what happens when somebody has a lot more importance? That person disrespects and just acts as if they're the king and the queen and everything. Do not give people at all importance. Just remember that. Another thing is that I have to continue on, continue on using my head. I understand that my head is going to be back here, but that will not stop me from using my head and actually continuing on to use it. It's so important to use my head and to talk using my head, because that's just a natural, it looks a lot more confident. If I do it, it looks a lot better because it actually moves the lazy eye look that I have, and that's exactly what I want to actually get rid of, is that lazy eye look that I have. So very importantly that I actually, if I were to look straight on, look down to the side and just, let me just talk right now. As I'm talking, I'm going to be focusing on other things. For example, why I do this, why I do that. So very importantly is that whenever I'm around parents or around anyone, regardless of how important they are, never ever keep or try and keep the conversation going. And just notice it. The minute I notice that I'm trying to keep the conversation going, that's when I'm actually, there's neediness going on. Don't look here, just look down to the side. So this is a person. And there's neediness going on. The minute I see myself trying to keep the conversation going, notice that neediness and stop it completely. It's so important that I stop that neediness, because that is the neediness that will keep me from being a more authoritative figure. It's so important that I become an authoritative figure. And why and how do I do that? Is by actually not trying to, because just imagine if there's somebody that's a lot more important, that person will not try and keep that conversation going. That person will not try and keep this person talking, or that person will keep something interesting. No. If there is nothing to say, then don't say anything and make it even weirder. Make fun of how the other person is boring. That will put me at a higher level and status. Just remember that. The minute I remember that, and also something else, use my hands a lot slower. Do not look like I'm actually having a fight as I'm talking. It's so important that I actually use my hands to the point I actually use them. That's the way I use them in public, is using them a little bit slower. Have them shake, yeah, every once in a while, but don't have them move so fucking fast. So important that I don't have those hands move so fucking fast. Why? Because hands are supposed to be a means of continuing a conversation, or a means that of communication. Using my hands is so important. But just remember, it is important to the point, and I have it flow with my head. It's important when I put my hand down, I can do it like this, but I have to have it slow and then stop and then like this. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna stop the video right here, and then I'm gonna see how I'm doing.